Good day, YouTube. It's June 1st, 2019, and we are in the mobile studio, the 67 Boyertown step van. It is time to get the onboard generator up and functional. It is been mounted, exhaust has been run for some time. Last video we put the fuel tank in for it by taking the original truck fuel tank out, because this was converted, the truck was converted to run on propane, but this generator runs on gasoline. So we swapped out the probably 30-gallon gasoline tank for a 17.5-gallon marine tank. It took most of the day last Sunday, but we got her done. Now we got to run some fuel line to this guy. So I think we're just going to do it all in rubber line. I made up a line with another filter in it. There's already one at the tank. I need to drill a hole and drop this end down through the floor and get it connected to the fuel tank. That'd be easy. And then probably need to run to the auto parts store and get some proper cables, battery cables. The battery's going to sit in the rear. If I can get all that done today, actually, that'd be cool. This is the other end of the fuel line. And then I can start this thing with the controls on the generator. Right there. And then we can go to... Sorry, it's in an awkward position. I have remote panel over here. Do I have no light? Oh yeah, there we go. So that's the remote panel. Unfortunately, somebody bored a hole in it early in its life. It came with a generator. Generator has 452 hours on it, which is nothing. It is an EV4000 Honda RV Generator. It's not the most quietest thing in the world, but I'm hoping it does the trick. Going to make these removable insulated panels, one in the end to get to the battery, which also is going to operate the winch. Already does operate the winch. And there'll be a permanent battery charger in place, and then we'll get an outlet in here somewhere because I got to plug in my mini fridge. So this end here will just insulate the daylights out of it. Probably put another piece of plywood in there to keep this thing as quiet as possible inside. There's a vent to the outside right there, and there's a complete hole in the floor because this has a fan in it, and the exhaust runs down through the floor. So the floor is wide open. It draws air in here for air intake, so we've got fresh air here. Should throw all the heat out of here. That's the plan. I even stuck another tiny little vent over here, just to ventilate the battery area, and there was a rust hole there, so I plugged it with a vent rather than replacing it with something. Hey, what the heck? I was just lazy. So let's get to it. I got a big drill bit and a drill to bore a hole through the plywood floor. We'll get this fuel line run, get it connected, tied up out of harm's way, and then we'll go after some battery cables. And then we'll fire this up. I've had this generator running many times. It fires right up very easily. I just let the fuel run out of the carburetor and we'll go from there. If this generator turns out to be quiet enough for me, I may invest in converting this to propane one day. Although, just because propane doesn't go bad and this thing has a 40-gallon propane tank in it, we put a valve in for this generator or another generator when we redid the propane system in the step van. But if this thing goes well and I like it, it does everything I need and it's not too noisy, we might update it to propane, or we might just say, okay, it's marginal, it'll work, we'll just leave it gasoline, I won't spend any more money on it. I think I paid $400 for it, $350, $400 somewhere there, and drove a couple hours to go get it. But it is a Honda. I'm a big fan of Honda, but Onens are good machines as well. I could change the whole thing out to an Onan machine. There is actually one on Marketplace right now that has caught my eye. I might pick one up one day that's already propane, because it would be in that like $250, $300 range. That's probably what it would cost to convert this one. And I would probably step up to a 6,500 watt, this being a 4,000. This should be all I ever need for my mobile studio, but bigger's better. But it has to be able to fit the box, because this is as big a box as I want in here, because I still got to haul stuff. So, and I haul stuff on top of this. So without further ado, let me start drilling holes and running gas lines. I'll check back with you in a little bit. Okay, I've got the fuel line runs hooked up. I put a gallon or two of a non-ethanol premium fuel in the tank, and it's time to fire it up. Now this has a fuel pump on it. There's no fuel in the lines, so it's going to have to crank for a while to get fuel up there. Hopefully the battery's got enough juice in it. Should be fine. Alright, start. There we go. Breaker's off. Alright, let it rest for a sec. It's electric fuel pump, but it doesn't run, it's running while it's cranking, but it doesn't run while it doesn't crank. Hang on. Okay, I put a little gas in this little gas can back there. And let's get it running on that, get the carb full, switch it back over to the big tank, and maybe it'll catch a prime. Try again. Up the big tank again. Shall we try it again? The big tank is hooked up. Alright, cross your fingers, hope this works. Wasn't quite in time, but we should be good to go now. Really anxious to see how quiet it is once I get this insulated and closed. definitely not the quiet portables like I use. The exhaust comes out over here. This thing hasn't run in over a year. But it runs good. Quick start. Nice. All right. So that's getting her running on the fuel tank. Tomorrow's activity will be getting it wired for its remote. Get you off here. And hopefully get this enclosure built out, get it all insulated, probably going back to styrofoam, and I have some other insulation too we might add to that, really make it quiet. Again, the ends have to be removable, and the top I have to be able to service this thing. So cool. Well, hey, there's some stuff I bought at yard sales today. Yeah, I got a DI box and an 8-channel 50-foot snake. Let's close up the door. Oh, I can't. Why? Because I took the battery that closes the door to start it. Okay, we'll deal with that tomorrow. I didn't want to take time to go get cables and stuff like that today. We'll do that tomorrow also. That's the battery cables. They were just too short to reach where I wanted to put the battery. So we'll get those tomorrow. In the meantime, I got to unhook that and put it back, hook up the winch so I can shut the door, so I can shut my shop door. Ooh. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Commenting, subscribing, hit the thumbs up if you would not mind. I appreciate that. These are videos come absolutely free to you, but the only way I get anything out of this is to get these shared with other people, and hitting the thumbs up is what does that for me. Would appreciate that. We'll catch you on the next one.